you and then we can start. Hello everyone. Today we are very honored to have with us Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay sir. He's a faculty, TEDx speaker, former data scientist, Intel software innovator, Google developer expert in ML. He is basically a man with many skills and we are so fortunate to have him with us today. The topic of his talk will be machine learning. Just a quick announcement before I hand over to sir. As we promised a project opportunity under him, so the procedure is at the end of his talk, he will conduct a small quiz, and on the basis of that, he will select students for the opportunity. So without any further delay, I would request sir to take over and share his knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I hope I am audible clearly. So
yes, sir.
Thanks to IEEE Student Chapter IEM and IEEE Student Chapter of UEM Kolkata for inviting me here, and thanks for Sumedha for her wonderful introduction on me. So let us start our today's discussion. So today we are going to discuss about the machine learning. So basically, what are the career opportunities with regards to the machine learning, and on that perspective we are going to discuss. Then I will definitely conduct a hands-on session as well. So just give me a few minutes of time. Let me open up the PPT, okay, where I will discuss all the career aspects related to AI and ML, and then what we will do, we will start our one of the examples on the hands-on session. There we will get some idea that how we can execute certain project on the AI ML domain. Okay, so let me share the screen. Can you see the screen now? Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So let me go to slideshow mode. It's taking too much time to open up. Just a second. Can you see the changes of slides on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible, the change of slides?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are going to start our discussions. For example, right from the beginning, we are going to discuss about the introduction to AI and ML, then career opportunities in AI and ML. Okay, startups to drive the growth of AI and ML, industry job roles on AI, machine learning and deep learning, skills required for the success in AI and ML domain. Then obviously a little bit of glimpse on my journey on AI ML, and obviously then conclusion. Then we will start our hands-on session. So at the beginning, as we were discussing, that obviously AI, the journey of AI started in 1940s with the mimicking on human activities to solve the complicated problems. So then basically what happened that with the progress of time, we have seen the rise of the different machine learning techniques, which is a subdomain of AI. So we have seen the rise of the decision trees, support vector machine, for example, random forest, gradually from 1980 to 1990s. And along with that, the automation domain also played a very, very vital role, along with the AI, subdomain of AI, where we have seen the rise of the skills like robotic process automation, intelligence process automation. So AI became the pivotal part of our life. So if we talk about the some of the experts quote, for example, like Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, who has mentioned that AI is the main tool behind new age innovation and discoveries like driverless cars or disease detection algorithm. For example, if we talk about Elon Musk, he also shared his thoughts like artificial intelligence will be firstly smarter than any human and would overtake us by 2025. So you can see that also you can see the quotes of the Barack Obama or Jeff Bezos in the screen. I am not repeating what they have mentioned. So everybody has visualized the strong potential of AI, and there's a reason if you see all those top-notch companies, data-driven companies are gradually, focusing on the futuristic technologies where AI and ML is playing a very, very vital role. And if we talk about, for example, like I have mentioned, that machine learning is the subdomain of in these directions. So like all of you may be aware that in near future, we are talking about the quantum machine learning as well, quantum deep learning, where you can see by 2035, as per the law, Moore's law, we know that all the physical processor we can nowadays have, it will saturate. So we will have to move on to the quantum platform, because nowadays, if we see, we are continuously generating the semi-structured data. But if we go back to 20, 30 years back, like in 1980s or 1990s, okay, till 1980s, it was all about the relational databases. But when the 1990s, 93, 94 era, the internet era has started, and we started to explore with the other kind of data sets like unstructured data sets. So when you are typing emails, for example, you are writing down some text, and then for example, whenever we started to explore in the social media era in 2004 onwards, for example, with the arrival of the Facebook and LinkedIn as well, we have seen that in Web 2.0, Web 1.1, Web 2.0, we are mostly relying on the unstructured data. We are posting images, we are sharing videos, we are writing some text. So everything is unstructured data. So holistically, if we see, we are basically generating the structured plus unstructured, semi-structured data. So due to that reason, you see that the data, both of the database, which we have observed during 1970s, 80s, or 1990s, it is not the same. Nowadays, it is quite, you can say it's an exponential growth on that. And due to that reason, you see, you require the physical processor to process those data. Thanks to NVIDIA in 2012, they came up with GPU, and in 2016, Google came up with TPU. So for those reasons, we have some support in terms of the data processing power. Okay, and there's a reason, if you see that that is one of the reason which has played a very, very vital role in terms of the deep learning deployment. Nowadays, we know that we have the support of GPU in terms of the physical processor aspect. If you talk about the Google Colab, where we are going to have today's hands-on session, there you can see you will have the support of the virtual GPUs and TPUs. So because of those reasons, you see nowadays we are being able to deploy process the high-scale data sets, okay, higher dimensional data sets, because we earlier we have seen that whenever we have data up to 10 to the power 4, it is good to process with machine learning, but from 10 to the power 5 onwards, we are preferring deep learning, because it is performance wise scalable. Okay, machine learning is not performance wise scalable. When we reach the data in order of 10 to the power 5 or nearby that, they are basically, we see the activation functions like sigmoid or tan hyperbolic. If you see the curve of the sigmoid or tan hyperbolic, those are not performance wise scalable. Where we can see the deep learning scenario, you can see talk about the ReLU, which is an activation function, plays a very, very vital role there. So which is a performance wise scalable. So due to that reason, we can see that you can observe the humongous phrase in terms of the deep learning. And like I have mentioned, the digital world is getting double day by day. It is experiencing exponential growth. So the number of the stars in the universe is equal to the number of the bits in the digital world. So that first is our digital world is nowadays. So that's the reason we are the way that the digital world is getting double and exponential growth we can see day by day. That's due to that particular reason. You see, upcoming days we require all the physical processor will saturate, and we require the quantum platform. Quantum machine learning and quantum deep learning is going to rule the world from 2035 onwards. So till now, we have some time to much more explore on the classical directions on machine learning or deep learning. Till 2035, we have a lot of time, because you see, even if you switch to quantum platform, before that you have to have a very strong grip on the classical domain. Okay, we'll talk about those skills very soon. So, for example, we have seen like how the industry growth has been progressed so far. So we all know the industry 1.0. It all started with the steam engine, water power. Okay, so basically the industry 1.0 it expand over the 70 years, 1760 to 1830, and then we have seen the industry 2.0. In industry 2.0, it's all about the mass production, arrival of the electricity, that played a very, very vital role there. So 1870 to 1914, we can consider this particular period. Then we have seen the rise of industry 3.0, which belongs to basically the electronics and IT system, which spans over 30 years, 1970 to 2000. And from 2015 onwards, 1415 onwards, which is basically the era of Web 3.2 as well. We have seen the era of the decentralization, rise of the blockchain, cybersecurity, all those particles are also there. Along with that, AI ML is playing a very, very vital role. And also, if we talk about the application of the IEML, they are basically the chatbots are playing a very, very vital role. And if we talk about the automation tools like robotic process automation, that is also playing a very, very vital role in terms of maintaining the customer relation. Because you see in the industry, the more better you will maintain the CRM or customer relation management, then the better will be your ratings in terms of the customer satisfaction. So it's not about onboarding the new customers, but also to retain the old customers as well. So that's the reason it is playing a very, very vital role on these directions. Then obviously the personalized shopping experience, there also you can see AI is playing a very, very significant role. Okay, we also can talk about the healthcare domain, early diagnosis of diseases. There also machine learning algorithms and AI are playing a very, very vital role there. Also, we can talk about the finance domain. In finance domain, definitely it is like the stock market predictions. Okay, it is also playing a very, very significant role there. We can talk about for example, the other domains like the autonomous vehicles. Okay, so in those aspects, we have seen that how AI and ML is playing a very, very significant role on those directions. Travel and navigation, like the AI-enabled maps, which will give you a lot of information about the optimal routing. Okay, so in those cases, whether you are talking about the cars or bus or train, you can always take about the optimal routes. So AI-enabled mapping is one of the vital role playing in those directions of the travel and navigations. Also, social media, as we have seen, like LinkedIn, you often come across the job recommendations. So those things are being done with the AI-based algorithms. Or in Facebook, we have seen the auto tagging. Okay, in deep learning, these applications are helping to auto tag. Okay, doing the face recognition. Earlier days, it was all about the manual tagging. But if you see in last 3-4 years, Facebook has come up with the auto tagging options as well. So those are the blessings of the Facebook-based applications. They are basically, you can see the rise of the AI-enabled related vast applications. You can observe there. Also, the smart home-based devices, the connected devices of the smart home-based applications like smart lighting, with the collaboration of the IoT devices, AI is playing a very, very vital role there. Creative arts, also like the artificially generating the music composition, everywhere it is playing a very, very significant role. Security and surveillance is also, it is playing a excellent role there. One of the hands-on session today we are going to experience with on those directions, where we will see that how in the security aspects AI and ML algorithms is going to play the vital role. And definitely, we all know that Sophia, which is developed by the Hanson Robotics, so one of the premier company on these directions. So you can see in the screen, the Sophia, India is welcoming robot Sophia for the first ever interactive session in Kolkata. So the YouTube link is given there. I will share the PPT with the organizers. You can definitely go through the YouTube link about, and you can experience that how the Sophia is interacting okay, with the students. Also the big data angle, if you see, we can talk about, there are vast amount of the applications of the big data, like retail, healthcare, education, e-commerce, telecom industry. So big data, like I have mentioned, that in today's world, as the digital world is getting double, we don't define big data with like this petabyte or this terabyte will be the big data. Rather, what we say, we often mention like the 3 V's of big data: the variety, velocity, and volume. As I have mentioned that nowadays, due to the sensor-based devices, we are continuously generating data from every resources. So the volume is humongous. Okay. So for example, in today's 15th April, whatever the data volume you will experience in your database, when you go to 25th April or 5th March, after 10-20 days, you will see that, oh my God, whatever I have experienced during 15th April, there's nothing in front of it because of the exponential growth of the data volume in the databases. So you see that there's a reason volume, variety, and velocity plays a very, very vital role there. Like variety, like I mentioned, that in 1980s, 1970s, is all about the structured data. But from the 1990 onwards, arrival of the internet era, and especially after Web 1.0, Web 2.0, if we see the arrival of the social media network, we are continuously generating this semi-structured data. So that's the reason variety of data is more audio data, video, musical data, okay, images, text. So every time you can see there is a variety of the data. So that's the reason big data is playing a very, very vital role there. And if we talk about Hadoop, among the Hadoop, for example, MapReduce does a very operational job in terms of the data processing and computation purpose. Okay, HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, is there for storing the big data. And obviously, EARN is also playing a very, very vital role in terms of the resource allocation, job scheduling. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you. Actually, the slides are not changing.
Okay, so in Zoom, I have often seen this kind of the problem. So that's the reason I was asking that whether you can observe these slide changes or not. Anyway, so what I will do, I will just click on, normal. I am keeping the PPT normal mode and just clicking on one by one slides. I believe that would be better, because as you can see, sir, these slides are moving. So it would be better that if I can do in this way. So previously, what we have started, just let me give you an overview, that we have started our discussions on the introduction to AI. Then we have talked about what are the experts, company CEOs are mentioning, founders and CEOs are mentioning about their aspects and their thought process related to AI. And like what is machine learning, we have discussed in the next slide. Then I talked about, give you an overview on all the industrial aspect, for example, industry 1.0 or industry 2.0, how the industrial development has happened from industry 1.0 to industry 4.0. We have took an overview on that. Then we have discussed the applications of the AI enable, like we talked about the automated customer support to maintain optimal CRM, customer relation management. Then we talked about personalized shopping experiences. Then we talked about healthcare. Okay, then I discussed about the finance, applications of AI in finance domain. Also, we have talked about the smart cards and drones. Okay, then I talked about, for example, travel and navigation. Then I discussed on the social media. Okay, then I discussed on the smart home devices. Then I talked about creative arts, application over the creative arts. Then I discussed on the security and surveillances. Then I started our discussions on the humanoid robot developed by the Hanson Robotics, which is Sophia. So you can, in the screen, you can see that how India is welcoming the robot Sophia for the first ever interactive session in Kolkata. Okay. Then I talked about the big data applications. There I mentioned that what is big data, how the 3 P's of the big data are playing very, very vital role, like volume, velocity, and variety. Okay, where I talked about Hadoop as an open source framework, which is written in Java. Okay, how they are among the Hadoop, there are several parts, like for example, component like MapReduce for data processing purpose, HDFS for data storing purpose, Hadoop distributed file system, and they definitely EARN is also playing a very, very vital role in terms of task scheduling and job task division. So you can see the applications of the big data like retail, healthcare, education, e-commerce, and telecom. Okay. Then, for example, in the career of the IML, if we go to the second segment part, in the first part, we have seen the concept and the applications. Obviously, like for example, if we talk about the overall career growth, so there you can see for example, there are various application areas where you can We can discuss, for example, computer vision, or the understanding of the natural language or the speech recognition, or for example, the face recognition, cyber security, transport, marketing, and advertising. So there are vital areas where you can see that AI/ML can be applied in a vast manner. And if we talk about the avenues in India and abroad, for example, in Indian aspect, AI are covering many areas like medical diagnosis, stock trading, or the robot control, or the scientific discovery. It is not in India; it is across the globe. We can see the same scenario as well. And if we see, for example, those who have the B in BTech or MTech degree in AI/ML, they can have the very good job opportunities in ISRO. They can apply the AI-based applications in the space sciences. Same thing applicable for the abroad scenario, like if we talk about, if we have a very good knowledge on AI, you can apply your AI knowledge on the space science domain in NASA. So there is ample job opportunities are there. Intel is providing ample job opportunities, whether you are talking about India or in abroad. Okay, definitely. For example, the Indian Institute of Biology is also offering AI and research in AI and robotics. You can see some of the AI jobs includes the machine learning engineers, data scientists, business intelligence developer, research scientist, AI engineer, which we are going to discuss very soon. Also, apart from the United States, Canada, Australia, UK is also providing a lot of lucrative job offers in the AI domain. So let us see how the world's biggest companies are playing a vital role there. So we all know the Amazon Web Service, or for example, Salesforce, IBM, Alibaba, or Google Cloud Platform, Intel, Nvidia. All these companies are playing a very, very significant role there. Okay, or for example, you can talk about the Bossa Nova or Big Panda, okay, or Element AI. They all are playing a very, very significant role in terms of the development of AI as well as providing the jobs. So ample companies are there in this particular domain. Okay, when I will share the PPT, you can see that. So there also you can see in 2020 scenario, the different vertical wise, finance, insurance, transportation, construction, healthcare, retail, warehousing. You can see many verticals, cybersecurity. There you can find the ample amount of the companies they are working on those domains. So you can get some idea, okay, that which companies are working on which segment. Okay, what are the opportunities are there for you guys for the AI/ML aspects. So you will be able to visualize that. And definitely companies working on big data, if we talk about, so IBM, Oracle, Clairvoyant, okay, ScienceSoft, Prolifix. So these companies are there. So basically, if you talk about the startup ecosystem, it's not only in India. If you talk about the United States, UK, you can see that due to the flourishment of the AI, ML, and big data, there are a lot of startups are also pointing up in those directions, and they are creating vast amount of the impact on the Indian SMEs. And okay, so basically what happens that you can see that a lot of new lucrative job offers are coming up from the startups. For example, if you see the Bangalore West new startups on the AI/ML, they are giving a very good lucrative salary to the students, youngsters. Students are getting a lot of new internship opportunities. They can see that how the industries are working. So there are always opportunity of learning and new creation of the jobs, because whenever the new skill setups comes up, you see there are new job roles are coining up. So you have to grab those job roles. So you'll very soon talk about the job roles. What are the job roles you can visualize? Like if you see the industry job roles on AI, machine learning and deep learning directions. So for example, machine learning engineer or machine learning architect, machine learning specialist, machine learning educator, a research scientist. Now you see research scientist is a kind of job role. It depends on the JD. You have to see the JD. Okay, so in AI/ML domain also you can observe the job roles like research scientist, project scientist, those kind of job roles may come up. Okay, you have to see the JD very well, job description, that what are the JDs are given there. Like in many cases, the job title is basically research scientist, but you have to do basically machine learning, deep learning kind of stuffs. Okay, deep learning engineer, deep learning architect, deep learning specialist, deep learning educator, artificial intelligence researcher, artificial intelligence engineer, data scientist. These are the possible job roles you can observe in the industry. Okay, so you can also see, for example, job roles in big data domain, like big data engineer, big data architect, okay, data engineer or data architect, MIS reporting executive. So these are the possible job roles which you can observe in the industry. Also the skills for the success in AI/ML domain, if we talk about, like I mentioned earlier, that definitely in terms of the mathematics angle, you don't be required to know linear algebra very well, because very simple things like calculations of the eigenvalue, eigenvectors. Okay, because you see, whenever you will learn about the principal component analysis or the singular value decompositions, so there you will experience that how vital those concepts related to the eigenvalue and eigenvectors are. Okay, so that's the reason you require to know linear algebra very well, then probability. Okay, so in terms of the probability, always remember that, for example, the Bayes theorem, conditional probability, these are very, very important, because Naive-Bayes algorithm or any dynamic Bayesian model like Markov model, Eigen Markov model, you will require to know this kind of this probability concept very well. Then in statistics, obviously the inferential statistics, descriptive statistics, these are playing a very, very vital role there. So people may ask, what is chi-square, what is z-test, what is f-test? So these are the very basic questions. If you can't answer the basics, then even if you know many advanced things, that is not going to help you. So basics are always important. So that's the reason, focus on the basics. And if you talk about the programming language angles, so analytics jobs, if you know R, that is very good in terms of the statistics. It has a humongous support in terms of the statistical data processing purpose. If you know Python, okay, so Python has versatile applications in data science aspect if we talk about. So all the frameworks for doing the machine learning and deep learning tasks are the highly Pythonic. So like TensorFlow, okay, Keras, PyTorch, those things are there. And those who are not very smart in coding, but still they have a lot of job opportunities in this particular domain. So there are ample amount of job opportunities coming up in the visualization angle. So Power BI, Tableau plays a very, very vital role there. Okay, so for example, in India, if you know Tableau, you can grab the 6-digit salary job. So that's the reason you see that this visualization, all those things plays a very, very significant role in automation angle. And also this comes under the subdomain of AI. So in automation, for example, in 2014, people used to deal with the business process management. But you see from the 2018 onwards, it was all about robotic process automation. But due to the gap between industry and academics, which are being taken care of nowadays, because of with the help of the industry academic meets and all those things. Earlier, it was not the same scenario. And due to that reason, when one of the top IT company of India were looking to hire the people in robotic process automation, after this scrutiny over throughout the India, they found that only 3 lakh out of they want to hire 3 lakh people from India on the robotic process automation skill, but they found that only 300 people knew about robotic process automation. So can you imagine the gap? They wanted to have 3 lakh people with expertization on robotic process automation, but they found that only 300 people knew robotic process automation in 2018 I'm talking about. So it was basically robotic process automation is a very high salary job, but due to the lack of the expertizations, they started to give training on RPA, okay, to the newcomers, and obviously as those guys don't have the expertization, so they are getting very, very low paid salaries. But those who have shown the efficacy over the period of time, their salary is they got the hefty amount of salary, definitely. But the thing is that you have to understand that you have to continuously evolve yourself whenever you are in the industry. Okay, so every 5 years, on an average, every 5 years, new skill setups are coming up. Or for example, you are staying in automation domain, and now you know robotic process automation. In 2025, it will be the era of intelligence process automation. There we can see that in robotic process automation, what are the jobs you can do? For example, sending 20,000 email per day, or doing rigorous Excel sheet works. Okay, automating the salary hikes. So those kind of things you can do with the robotic process automation flawlessly. Okay, but they don't have these softwares don't have the cognition within them. Okay, it is a completely template driven approach. You don't have to code there. So those who are not very smart enough in coding, they can also sustain in RPA field, robotic process automation field. So they are basically with some drag and drop tools, you can actually implement the job. But IP in intelligence process automation, what will have, these software robots will have the power of decision making. So cognition will be there. So RPA is aligned with AI, and they came up with intelligence process automation. So in this way, you have to upgrade yourself. You don't have to wait for the company to host the training for you. Rather, you yourself upgrade, be updated and upgrade, and upskilling and reskilling is a continuous part of learning. Okay, so what will happen when the new projects comes up in your domain? You can raise your hand that you know that. Okay, your managers can make you the team lead as well. You can play a very, very significant role in terms of those projects. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't have those skills? If company does not organize any kind of training for you, then what will happen? You will be benched. And once you are benched, somebody else will take up your place, and then it becomes very difficult to gain and revive your positions. So that's the reason I'm saying that in the industry, you have to be very, very careful enough. What are the possible job roles? What are the new things that are coming up? And accordingly, you have to train yourself. Okay, so the skills for the AI and ML we have discussed, and definitely my own journey, if I talk about, so basically I came to AI because I was from the electronics and communication engineering background, so I was aware of the image processing and the signal processing steps. But gradually, what happened that during my doing research on the biomedical field, so I gradually realized that if we want to develop certain products, so we require some robust classifiers to give you the optimum classification. So in this way, we tried out with different machine learning classifiers, and I started to learn on them. And gradually, I accustomed with the Pythonic platforms. Okay, like Keras, TensorFlow, so such that, because the Python and Google, Python and Java plays a very, very vital role in terms of the cloud communicator. Okay, so whenever you are developing certain product, nowadays that the storing data in cloud analytics plays a very, very vital role there. So I wanted to make a real world product outcome as an outcome of the research. So that's the reason I gradually started to explore on the Pythonic platforms, and then I gradually came to the deep learning domain as well later on. So we developed the AI-based product, for example, early diagnosis of cancer or early diagnosis of diabetic retinopathy, which is a major cause of blindness, with the smartphone-based app. Then basically, this particular, I came up with one of our startup, that Twilik Medtech Private Limited. Okay, apart from my industry job, so that was basically provided and created impact on the bottom of pyramid level, like brain-free early stage cancer diagnosis, or the low-cost portable device, or the generating reports within 2 minutes where biopsy takes several days of time, or the third solution was the automatic solution and highly efficient. So these are the possible solutions we have created and provided. Our work also highlighted in all the leading newspapers and media. For example, G News, Orissa TV, News World India, Nature India, because we are the first group across the globe who has explored AI on the eye disease detection purpose. Then basically our work also highlighted in the Hindu Business Standard, Indian Express. Then obviously our AI-based cancer research success also highlighted in Business Standard, Indian Express, Analytics India Magazine, Nature India, the Hindu. And our cancer research success also included in the current affairs syllabus of the India's toughest exam related to IES or UPSC. Obviously, IBPS banking was also there. We were the first runner-up in 2017 on the NASA MIT hackathon. Then definitely my research on AI also got the honorary mention in the Embassy of India to Switzerland. Okay. So these are the possible, I have discussed that what are the possible job roles related to AI and ML, and my own journey I also discussed. Now it's time to go back to the hands-on session. But before going there, these are my social media handle. You can join me there. You can, I am omnipresent everywhere, whether it is Facebook page or LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can get me anywhere. Okay, if you have any queries at the end of the session, I will definitely share my email IDs with all of you. Give my GitHub link, YouTube channel link, such that all of you can take the benefits of all those hands-on sessions, which I have executed so far. Because as per the request of the students, I have created a separate GitHub account where I am sharing interesting projects and also the study materials where you can get the access of the codes. Okay, and you can practice by yourself at your home. The main objective of those sessions is that time is very much precious for all of you. You are spending 1 hour time to attend those sessions. So if you can get some idea about how the industry works, then it will be better for you. So let me just stop the screen sharing and go back to the Colab session. Okay, so those who know, it's fine, kindly open up the Google Colab. Those who don't know, for them I am just opening it up. Okay, just a second, let me share the screen. I think you can see that I have written Google Colab. Okay, so once you type on the Google Colab, so you can click on Google Colab and then it will open up. So once it is opening up, you can click on the new notebook. Okay, so new notebook will open up. So you can see plus code and plus text button is there. You can put some name there. For example, it is interactive Python notebook.ipynb extension is given there. You can type like demo AI. Okay, we are doing some demo experiment on AI. So demo AI, you can give some name there. And you see in the bottom of that, plus code and plus text button is there. So in clicking on plus text, you can add some text on the notebook. And plus code button, you can write the code and you can run it. This particular knob is the run cell button. Okay, you can click on it and it will execute the code. So I am going back to the original notebook. This notebook I will definitely email to the organizers. They will share with you. So in the notebook, you can see the title is given the securing user authentication using AI. So as we have seen that AI is playing a very, very vital role in the cybersecurity aspects as well. And we all know that a single step user authentication does not provide you the robust security. Okay, we require multiple steps in terms of the authentication, because although we can keep the password like alphanumeric password of 15, minimum 15 character length, it is definitely giving you the robust protection. But still, nowadays we go with the multiple authentication, like we can add up some SMS-based services in your mobile phone after the login. Once you click on okay, then what will happen? Then you will be able to log in the system, or keystroke dynamics or face recognition. Those steps are there. So you can see by clicking on the plus text button, I have added all the necessary text portion there. So you don't have to worry about it. So I am not going into much detail on the text portion. So in the text portion, the detailed theory portion is given there. I am just giving you some glimpses on the coding portion, okay, because we don't have much time. So basically all those things you guys may know, but it will be better to go through the theory part as well. Okay, so how can you execute some of the optimal example related to the keystroke dynamics detection on the basis of the user authentication? So keystroke dynamics, as you know, it can capture the cadence and the rhythms of the key space events. Okay, for each person. So person basis it will be different. Okay, person wise it will be the same. So to avoid the random disturbing factors, it is very, very important to transform the corresponding raw data representing those user digitization in a data set of the features which you can use for the users keystroke dynamics detection purpose. So what you can do whenever you are talking about the biometric or recognition purpose, you always consider some of the distinctive physical elements in terms of the reliability or the exclusive tracking back of a specific human users. Okay, so it can be like iris plays a very, very vital role there, face, fingerprints, so voice, everything is playing a very, very vital role as a part of the authentication steps. So here we are basically going with the keystroke dynamics. So in case of the keystroke dynamics, you can see the data set which we are using there, it is remaining the .csv format. So link of the data set is given there, that www.cs.cmu.edu. You can go to that particular link and you can download the dataset. So dataset consists of the 51 subjects. Okay, each typing, for example, 400 passwords. So also among those measures, the data collected, for example, which are labeled as a DD and UD. What does it imply by DD and UD? Like DD, basically it is signifying the key down time, and UD is signifying the key up, key down time. Okay. So let us explore how we are going to exploring it here. So import NumPy as NP, import pandas as PD, and those are the basic importations for doing this kind of the operations. Then from matplotlib, what we are importing pyplot as PLT. Then definitely we are using the scikit-learn steps. Okay, so all the necessary importing we have done related to the k-neighborhood classifiers or SBM or the MLB multi-layer perceptron classifier. Those classifiers we are going to explore for the classification purpose. Then definitely what we are doing, we are using pt.read_csv and we are storing the result under pwd_data. Okay, then we are defining DD. Okay, and we are plotting it. Again, what we are doing, we are also providing the other necessary information, and finally we are plotting the average keystroke latency per subject. Okay, so subject wise, if you see the S002, S003, S004 up to S008, all the 7 subjects. Okay, although in the data set you will find 51 subjects. To show you the keystroke latency per subject, we are using the 7 representative subject, and DD and UD wise you will be able to signify how these subjects are different from one another. Okay, as per the keystroke latency wise. So let me explore this particular code in the demo coding window. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. I will share the notebook to all of you. All of you can practice those things at your home. I'm just showing you that these codes are all the runnable codes. Okay, so I'm not doing anything with the original notebook which I have prepared for you. I'm just showing you in a separate notebook that these all are the runnable codes. Okay, you can easily explore it, reproduce the results. Okay, and you can get the benefit of it. Okay. So basically, in the notebook, as you can see, those who are expert, it is fine. Those who are new, just for their information, that it's not only about running the codes, but you can also store theoretical data there as well. So like theoretical information as well, like in the original notebook I have done. Okay, I have mentioned a lot of theoretical steps which will guide you. Okay, if you go through them, you can easily understand that what are the operations you are doing, what are the new things are doing, and then you can run the codes quite smoothly. Okay, you can see they took 7-second time to execute the code. In the run cell button executed it. After once the successful execution, you can see this green tick is coming up and the time is given there 7 seconds. And you can see in below this particular keystroke latency per subject is being predicted there. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are in the next step, we are basically exploring one by one data set splitting and will execute the machine learning classifiers. Okay, so first of all, as you know, in the general purpose of the provision of the machine learning, among the entire data, 70 to 80% we do it for the training purpose, and the validation and testing we do for the 20 to 30% purpose. If you have the data in order of 10 to the power 5, okay, for the deep learning aspects, you can even use 98% up to the training purpose, and remaining 2%, 1% for validation, and 1% for the testing purpose. So here, basically, as we are doing the machine learning operations, and we have the data set under 10 to the power 4. So that's the reason what we are doing. We are using 80% for training and 20% for the testing purpose. Okay. So as we can see here, basically, we have splitted the data accordingly for the training and testing purpose. Then we have applied the K-neighborhood classifier, and we were going to check what is the classification accuracy of the K-neighborhood. So during the print, we will print K-neighborhood classification accuracy. You can see after the colon, we are printing KNC underscore accuracy, the accuracy value, which we are getting from the matrix.accuracy underscore score, where the arguments have been taken, y test, y underscore test, comma, y underscore print. Okay. So after executing it, we are getting here 37.3% is the accuracy with the K-neighborhood, which is a very poor accuracy. So we have to try out with some different other algorithm as well. But let us reproduce this result in the demo coding window. Okay. So I am just copy pasting it here, and let me reproduce the result. So after the successful execution, as you can see, the code has been executed successfully. Okay, it took the 3-second time to execution purpose, and you can see K-neighborhood classifier accuracy is now 0.373. That means 37.3%. This is the K-neighborhood classifier accuracy. Okay. Now in the next step, what we are going to do, we are going to explore with a support vector machine classifier. Okay, as we have seen the very poor accuracy in the KNN algorithm, we are going to explore it with the support vector machine. Okay, so let us check out what support vector machine is giving us. Okay, so with the help of the support vector machine, after once you are running it successfully, you will get the accuracy around 76% as per the original notebook. Okay, around 76.2%. So let us see after reproducing the result what accuracy you are getting. Okay, so it will be obviously much better than the KNN algorithm, but we will definitely see that if some other algorithm is giving us this some betterment of result or not. Okay, so let us first experience with SVM what kind of accuracy it is giving. After the SVM execution, we will also try out with multi-layer perceptron. This multi-layer perceptron, let me tell you for your knowledge purpose, this is the very basic. This is building the base of the deep learning. Okay, because on the basis of the multi-layer perceptron MLP, we are going towards the deep learning concept. There you will be able to see that it will give you the best result in terms of in comparing this SVM or in comparison to the KNN classifier. Okay, because you see there are very complicated the hidden layer will be there. Okay, so due to that, it is able to capture all the complicated features from the data set. The more robust you will capture the features, the more better will be your algorithm. Okay, so that's the reason MLP is going to give you the better result even than the support vector machine. So support vector machine, you can see it is giving you better result. It is now giving you 76.29%. Okay, so it is better than KNN. Now let us see with the help of the MLP whether we are being able to get the better result than SVM or not. So let us try it out there. Okay, so after the execution of the MLP, if you check out from the original notebook, it is giving you the betterment of the result and 91.02%. You can see that we are getting the result accuracy more than 90%. So it is a very good result. So MLP is giving you the robust result in comparisons with the SVM or KNN. So the limitations of the single layer perceptron, which was there in case of the KNN or the SVM, is being overcome by the multi-layer perceptron. And in fact, in case of the MLP, it is made up of the multiple layers of the artificial neuron, and each is implemented by those perceptrons. So MLPs with 3 or more layers fully connected with artificial neurons is much more robust than in comparison to the support vector machine or KNN algorithm. So that's the reason MLP is giving you the optimum result. And we can also draw then in the next step, we will also draw the confusion matrix for the multilayer perceptron. So let us check. The execution is done and you can see 90.71% is the result. Here we can observe with the multilayer perceptron. Okay, now we are going to, what we are going to do, we are now going to draw the confusion matrix for the multilayer perceptron. So once you are executing with it, you can see this is the confusion matrix we are getting for the outcome of the result which we got for the MLP or the multilayer perceptron. Now in the next step, what we will do, you will also see that as per our observation that here we started with KNN classifiers and we also got followed by the support vector machine, and finally with MLP we got the result more than 90%. So MLP has given us the optimum result. We also experienced the confusion matrix. Now what we are going to get, we are also going to check another user authentication step. We have checked the keystroke dynamics based approach, how we can classify different subjects with the keystroke latency. We are also going to check the biometric authentication with facial recognition purpose. Okay, so there we are also talking about the principal component analysis. Their eigenvalue and eigenvectors plays a very, very vital role there. So first of all, we will see very basic step, basic operation, where how we are going to find out the covariance matrix using the NumPy. Okay, and finally what we will print, we'll print basically a covariance matrix by introducing the step print np.cov of x to the power t, I mean x transpose, basically x cov of x dot t, doing the transpose operation. So first of all, importing numpy as np, then we are defining a numpy array which is representing basically a vector. Then we are doing the covariance matrix operation there. So np.cov transpose. Okay, that operation will execute here, which is a basic step before implementing the concepts related to TCA. So this is the basic step we are experiencing. Okay, once we are done with it, then what we will do to understand the relevance of the eigenvector and the eigenvalues for PCA, calculating PCA, what we have to do, we must remember that a vector such as, for example, eigenvector representing the oriented element, okay, characterized by a direction in the linear space. So with some scalar value like eigenvalue to give you the measurement of the intensity of variations. Okay, so eigenvector is giving the direction of the variations with the help of eigenvalues. Okay, now to identify the principal component analysis within a covariance matrix, we need to look for those eigenvectors that correspond to those of values of the higher amount of the eigenvalues, because higher amount of the eigenvalues will have the higher variations information. So in those cases, what it will do, you will basically use the NumPy library to do all those calculations. So import NumPy as NP. Then what we are doing, we are basically applying the np.lineal.eig, okay, to calculate the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. We are storing the result there, and then we are print eigenvalues and print eigenvectors. So corresponding values we will get from there. Okay. So in the next step, we are calculating the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Once it is done, then what we will do, we will apply the principal component analysis technique for the facial recognition purpose. So here what we will do for implementing this, the reduction in the dimensionality of the images is playing a very, very vital role there, because these are the main components. Okay, so what we'll do, we will identify the prominent features. Okay, so the main component, whenever you are doing the face recognition, it will define and is as the Eigen Phases. So some of the Eigen Phases you can check out in the below picture. Okay, so these are the Eigen Phases, and each of those image data set can therefore be interpreted as the combination of the Eigen Phases. So each image data set is available to download. You can download it from the www.cs.umass.edu. Okay, and in this example, what you will do, we shall use the concept of the multilayer perceptron for doing the classification of the images. So the output of the multilayer perceptron, it can be shown by help of the classification underscore repo, which can indicate the values with the help of the precision recall if F1 score matrix. Okay, so as you can see, first of all, we will import all the necessary modules there. Okay, at the first step, those things I am repeating here. Okay, reproducing the results with the necessary module upload. So once the module upload is done, then in the next step, what we will do, we will basically upload the data. We'll define the test set as well as the training set. So 70% is used for the training purpose and 30% is being used for the testing purpose here. Then we'll apply the PCA over it. Okay, and after doing that, finally, what it will do, we'll apply the multi-layer perceptron classifier there, and we will print the output. Okay, so let us reproduce the result here. Let me click on the plus code button and click here. Okay, so it is, meanwhile it is executing. I am just showing you the output here. So basically here you can see the precision, recall, F1 score, support, all those results has come up. So Colin Powell and George W. Bush, in both the cases, you can see the precision is quite high, 87%, 93%. Okay, and if one score support is also giving you the optimum result. So if you talk about the conclusion, in a conclusion, you can say, before going there, just let me show you this code is also running and giving you the optimum result. Precision 0.91, that means 91%. For George W. Bush, you are getting 89%. Okay, macro average 90%, weighted average 90% as well. So it is giving you a very good result. So in the conclusion, you can say that this session illustrated the different state-of-art techniques that can be used for increasing the efficacy of the authentication, user authentication purpose, in terms of the keystroke dynamics or the facial recognition purpose. Okay, so these are the references which I have used, okay, to make this particular content. So this content will be available to all of you. I will email the organizers. They will share with all of you. You can use it. So those who are new to Colab, they have learned how to execute the codes in Colab. And you can see all the codes have been successfully reproduced. So these codes are runnable codes. So you don't have to bother about it, that whether it will run or not. So don't have to worry about it. With this demo coding window, I have shown that how you can run all those codes successfully. Okay. So let me stop the screen sharing, and in the chat box section, let me share all the contents to all of you. So for example, my GitHub link I am sharing, you can follow me in GitHub and get the access of all the codes related to your coding purpose as well as for your learning purpose. So you can follow me in GitHub. So I have shared my GitHub link there. Okay. You can follow me in GitHub and access all those robust codes. Okay. In terms of the project as well as for your learning purpose. I am gradually updating it as well. Also, let me share my YouTube channel link where you will get the details of all those hands-on session. Okay. So such that you can easily follow me there and you can get the benefit of all those hands-on session. Okay. You can subscribe my YouTube channel as well. So this is the link of my YouTube channel. You can subscribe me there. I have shared it, my link of my YouTube channel. Also, let me share the link of my Medium profile, where I am uploading the articles related to robotic process automation, how you can build your career related to robotic process automation, or how you can build your career on reinforcement learning. Also, in this way, I'm gradually updating the articles for the student guidance purpose. So this is my Medium link as well. You can follow me there as well. So all the contents I have shared so far for your learning purpose. So we have started to make discussions on the AIML angle. How can you get the career directions on those aspects? Then we have executed one demo hands-on session where you have learned that how you can explore your AIML skill in the cybersecurity domain as well. So user authentication purpose, you have seen like keystroke dynamics or the facial recognition purpose. We also have then followed by that, I have shared my GitHub account link where you can follow me and access the codes. I have shared my YouTube channel link where you can subscribe there and you can get the benefits of all those hands-on sessions. I also shared my Medium account link as well, where I am gradually sharing the contents right up related to the career directions, like robotic process automation, reinforcement learning, and etc. etc. Okay, so this is all. I am done from my side. If you have any query, you can ask me. We can also conduct a small quiz session. I mean, those who are interested, all of you are welcome to do the project. Okay, but we can conduct a small quiz session as well, such that you guys can also evaluate yourself that how much you know and you don't know, because it's all about continuous learning purpose. So nothing to worry about it. So Sumedha, what we can do, I can ask one question. Okay, students can reply me in the chat box. So we can consider first 2-3 replies as the correct answer. I mean, okay, those who will reply correctly, we'll consider their name.
Okay, sir.
So you can take a note of those names, and
yes,
then they can connect with me as well. Before that, just let me share my email ID. If you have any queries or you are interested in terms of the project, etc., you can easily contact me anytime. Okay, so this is my email ID. you can take a note of it. So I am, as I have mentioned, that I am omnipresent. You can approach me in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. And this is my email ID as well. You can contact me anytime. So first question, as I mentioned, just we will consider first 2-3 answers for the project shortlisting purpose. Okay, but as I have mentioned, that students who are interested always welcome. But as of now, we are conducting a quiz, and those who will answer it properly, they will get the first opportunity of executing the projects under me. So the first question is very simple question. What is the activation function, okay, for machine learning? What is or what are the activation function for machine learning? You can write 1 or 2 names in the comment box section, okay? So those who will reply fast and accurately, they will get the opportunity. So I have posted the question in your comment box as well, expecting expecting the replies from you very soon. So please revert back to us in the comment box section, okay? So Sumedha, how much time should we give to them?
So as you wish.
Okay, it's now 4:30. So can we wait till 4:31 and then we can go to the next question?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, I think it will be good enough to type.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So let us wait till 4:31.
Guys, please hurry up. We will take the top answers.
Okay, so it's already 4:31. So I think they don't know it. So let us go.
Nobody knows it. Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's not the correct answer. Okay, let us move to the next question. What is the activation function for deep learning? What is the activation function for deep learning? For the machine learning, I am giving you the correct answer, tan hyperbolic and sigmoid function. Okay. Now you just reply, what is the activation function for deep learning? For the machine learning question, the correct answer is sigmoid function and tan hyperbolic. Okay. Now what is the activation function for deep learning? And Alia, thank you for your attempt. Okay. Better luck next time. So what is the activation function for deep learning? So it's now 4:32. I am expecting the answer by 4:33. Okay. We will wait for 1 more minute and then we shall move to the next question.
Come on, everyone. This is your chance. Okay, sir, we have one answer.
Okay, this is partially correct. So let us see. Sigmoid is for machine learning. Okay, sigmoid is for machine learning. So we can take, or I think Aurora has answered it partially correct. So Aurora's answer we can consider ReLU. Okay, Aurora and Sonchari. Okay, and as well as Alia, rectified linear unit. Okay, so ReLU's full form is rectified linear unit. So Alia's answer we can also consider. So the correct answer is ReLU or the rectified linear unit. Okay. So you can consider three names like Tuhin, as well as Alia.
Sir, can you repeat the names? I'll write it down.
Aurora. First answer is given by Aurora. I think I am pronouncing it correct. Aurora.
Yes, sir.
Then Tuhin. Okay. Then Sanchari.
Okay.
Sanchari has made it correct in second attempt, but let her give a chance.
Okay,
Alia.
sir.
Okay, Alia.
Okay, sir.
So the correct answer is rectified linear unit. Okay. Okay, Somobroto has come up with Likirelu. That is also correct answer. So you can consider the name of Somobroto as well. Somobroto, Likirelu, Relu, Rikirelu, parametric Relu. These are the correct answer for deep learning. Okay. So a very simple question. Okay. So in this case, we will only consider those who will give the, those who will be the first one to give the correct answer. Okay. What is deep learning? This is the very easiest question. Now we will only consider the first one who will answer it correctly. So hurry up. What is deep learning? So even if you want multiple persons, even if the multiple persons are answering it correctly, we will only consider the first one. Mimicking neural networks for human in machine. Okay, let us see what others are answering. For to human. Okay, let us see what others are doing. Mimicking human activity is also same for the machine learning as well. So what are the new things you are getting for deep learning? So your answer is quite closer, but just think quite deeply. What is the difference then with the machine learning and deep learning? Alia, then what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? Rupasri, you have answered it cleverly, but it is not the it is not the correct answer which you can consider. So what is the difference? As you are saying that mimicking human activity, okay. So in machine learning, we also do the mimicking human activity. So what is the difference with the machine learning and deep learning? So there you can see that the multi-layer perception, you should highlight the multi-layer perception concept there. Okay, so Sanchari has made it partially correct. Okay. So you have to mention that making human activity is fine, but in case of deep learning, what we do, we go with the multi-layer perceptron kind of thing, like I mentioned during the hands-on session. So what it will happen, it will capture the more complicated features. Okay, so as it is capturing the more complicated features, accuracy is becoming much more robust in comparison to machine learning. And along with that, if we talk about the mimicking human activity, okay, so in those cases, let me highlight that, like if you talk about the sigmoid function or tan hyperbolic as an activation functions of the machine learning. So there, what you can see, if you see the curve of the tan hyperbolic or sigmoid function, it is doing good. But after certain level, what will happen? Even if you are increasing the training data set, it will not give you the optimum outcome. Okay, so the performance will saturate somewhere. Okay, so that is the limit around 10 to the data in order of 10 to the power 5 or closer to 10 to the power 5. But whenever you are using the activation functions like ReLU or Likirelu or parametric ReLU, it is continuously scalable. The scalability is there as a continuous purpose. So due to that reason, you can see that deep learning is not about mimicking human activity, but it is also coming up with a mission vision, or the philosophy of the superhuman activity. Because if we think about our human being, what will happen? For example, you can work continuously for 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, then what will happen? Your performance will saturate. You will require some rest. So your performance curve is quite analogous to sigmoid or tan hyperbolic, what you can observe for machine learning. But for deep learning, which is superhuman concept, robotic concept, okay, so then what is happening? The continuous scalability will be there. There will be no tiredness. Robot doesn't feel any tiredness, right? So superhuman concept come from there. The superhuman philosophy is there in case of deep learning. So it's not only about mimicking human activity, but to augment it. And that augmentation is possible with the activation functions like ReLU, Rikirelu, parametric ReLU, where you can see it is analogous to a ramp-like function, which you can see that the scalability is continuous. And definitely in case of the deep learning, we go with the processor powers. We require the processor powers like GPU, DPU supports, definitely. Okay, so we can consider the answers related to the what we have seen so far. I think one lady has answered it partially correct. Sonchari answered it partially correct. Okay, There are a lot of students who has actually answered it partially correct, not exactly correct, but we can also give the chance to Somo Broto as well. Already Somo, I think those names which are appearing, they already have given one answer correctly, like Tuhin, Somo Broto, or Sanchari.
Yes, sir. They are the same
so you
people.
can, okay, so Alia also have answered earlier question correctly. So you can give them the opportunities.
Okay, sir.
All the students are welcome, but those who have answered it correctly, they will get the first chance.
Yes.
So my contact details are with Sumedha. So Sumedha will make you connect with me for the project purpose. Congratulations to all of you. Let us try to do a very good project, okay, which can create an impact on the normal human being as well, apart from your betterment of your CV. Okay, try to develop something which can benefit the people around us. Because let us take a vow that let us make science and technology blessings to the society, not the curse. Because across the globe, if you see, there are more than 96% people under the bottom of pyramid category before pandemic, and after pandemic, it is 99%. So you can understand that this much percentage of the people do not have enough money to pay tax. So it is our responsibility that whatever our profession, you can be engineers, you can be a scientist, you can be, for example, a researcher, you can be a teacher, whatever may be our profession or whatever the little knowledge we have, let us try to explore it for the betterment of the human being. Okay. So today's world is all about peer-to-peer learning. Nobody is Aristotle or Plato that you will know everything. It's all about peer-to-peer learning. The more you will interact, the more you will learn. Okay. So Tuhin, Sanchari, Aurora, all of you are most welcome. So let us stay connected, keep on learning. Okay. And like I mentioned, that let us make the science and technology blessings to the society. Okay. So I have shared my GitHub link, YouTube link, Medium channel link. Stay connected with me there as well. And my email ID I already shared. So also you can get my contact from Sumedha as well. So God bless you all. Take care.
Wait, sir, just a minute.
Sure.
Thank you so much for this informative session. We will take like 5 minutes of yours to give you a memento as a token of appreciation because you took out time. I know how busy you were and still you are here with us. That's an honor for us. So Rupashri, can you just share the memento? So this is for you. We will mail.
Thank you. The design is wonderful. Okay, thank you for sharing it with me. You can text me or email me this particular memento.
Yes, sir, I'll mail you this.
Thank you so much,
sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for the kind invitation. Thank you all for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So can I leave now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.